Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Serge. So today I wanted to talk about our kids. As you may know, I have a passion to help our children. Um, they are sick. They are not nourished properly. We need to help them. A lot of them are getting sicker, younger. They are put on antidepressant, on sleeping pill, anti-anxiety, cholesterol medications, and so on. So I wanted to talk about what we need to do when it comes to diet, food, to help supporting their growing bodies, and what we need to do even when they are in the womb, when the mom is pregnant and having a baby. So there's a few things that really caught my attention in the news lately. The first one is this article. We can see the title is Eating Fat-Rich Foods as a Child Causes Long-Lasting Changes in the Gut Microbiome. So that was a study that was published a few days ago. I wanted to talk about that. First of all, when you start reading this article, you will notice that they use animals. Okay, they use mice. It's really common in science to use animals as a model to study the different hypotheses. So they used mice and they fed the mice different types of diet, and they look at the microbiome and the side effect of it long term. We know that the gut is really, really important. We need to make sure that the gut microbiome is healthy from birth all the way to death at the end of the day. And microbiome is the cause of these different issues. So this study, first of all, used mice. So mice have a different anatomy, different physiology. They have a different diet than us. And most of the time, those studies, I would say 99.999% of the time, those studies do not apply to humans for the simple reason that we are not mice. So whatever they find in mice or rats, it doesn't apply to us. So, but if you look a bit more into the studies, you will see that they fed mice a diet high in fat and sugar. This is a detail that they don't mention or focus enough in the article. Is they focus a lot of fat because they believe that fat is the enemy, fat is bad for you. That's not the case, like I've talked before. So they claim that fat is the one causing the disruption or the imbalance in the gut flora, but they never talk about the sugar they feed along with the fat. This is really misleading and really confusing. And we know, I'm going to talk about that later, that sugar actually can lead to an imbalance in our microbiome. It can lead to a yeast overgrowth or parasite infestation and so on. So I don't know why they're so focused on the fat component when at the end of the day, we know that fat is not necessarily bad for us. It's mostly the sugar. So right there, to me, that was a red flag. So when you look into that, and when you think that sugar is the problem, you know that sugar is the one causing the disruption in the gut flora. And this changes in the microbiome is long lasting, meaning that it stays in your body, in the bodies for years and years and years and years. We know that the first few years of development is really important for the rest of their life. So if the microbiome of the child is off, is gonna stay off for the rest of your life unless you do something about it, unless you take probiotics and you make changes in diet and so on. So this article to me was totally misleading, was misreported by people. It seemed that as you read the article, it's sugar that causing the problem, not fat. You may have seen this article. The title is Pro-Inflammatory Low Quality Maternal Diet Linked to Adiposity. So what this article showed that what the mom eats impact the health status of the baby. Makes sense, isn't it? But they wanted to look at different types of diet, and this is the actual scientific article. So maternal dietary quality, inflammatory potential, and childhood adiposity. Adiposity means obesity, overweight, weight issues, and so on. So they look at different diets, and they found that if the mom eats junk food, processed food, sugar, and so on, it leads to a higher risk of weight issues in the child. How does that work at the end of the day? It's epigenetics, okay? So when the mom eats, whatever the mom eats, it changes the epigenetic status of the genes of the baby. And the baby is born with these different changes, which increases the risk of being overweight. On the other side, this article shows that if you eat all whole foods, natural, organic foods, you lower the risk of the kid of having weight issues. It's common sense, isn't it? What the mom eats affects what the baby becomes. Okay, so at the end of the day, the mom have to eat high quality diet. And this is my next point: is I came across this article, "How to Build a Healthy Baby Starting Before Pregnancy: A Guide to Maternal Nutrition." So if you look at the Western Price Foundation, I'm really a big fan of what they do, what they recommend when it comes to diet recommendations and what they recommend for moms, pregnancies, and before, and so on and so on. So they look at different populations, and all of them actually would nourish the moms 2 to 3 years before pregnancy with a high fat diet. And this is one of the problems that we have in this country, is we don't eat enough fat. They found that in order to have healthy pregnancy and strong and healthy babies, you will have to consume 10 times more fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K, 10 times more. So that means that we are 10 times more deficient in those vitamins than what those populations would do. So, and we know those fat soluble vitamins are the key for strong babies. So basically, those moms or future moms would eat high fat diet for 2-3 years prior being pregnant. So meaning it's a lot of fat. 80-90% of the diet will be fat. That's how you get your vitamin A, your vitamin D, E, and K. So we need to make sure that mom, before, during pregnancy, and the baby after delivery eats enough fat, high quality fat. Because we need fats to build a strong body. Kids, when they are born, 80% of the brain is fat, 50% is cholesterol, saturated fat. So we need to nourish them with fatty foods. For example, my daughter was on a diet for years on eggs, yogurt, like type 2 milk yogurt, liver, milk, okay, raw milk. So she would eat a lot of fat for years, actually, and we started to introduce vegetables and meat and fruits and nuts and so on. She would not have any processed food for years and years and years. And she's she's really strong. She's never been sick. No problem with her health. She's focused. She's smart. She really developed the way that she's supposed to. And this is what we need to do with our kids and children. We need to make sure that they are eating enough fat. So this is what I wanted to cover today when it comes to healthy babies, healthy pregnancies. It's all about diet and how to supplement your body with vitamins if you need to, if you don't have enough vitamins, D, A, and so on and so on. So and this is what we need to do. So I hope it makes sense. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching. God bless you.